Hello, Player3 here, taking a look at another game recommendation in the comments. Last time, it was Lego Island. This time, it's Joe and Mac, or Caveman Ninja, either or both. Starting off with the name Caveman Ninja, as the game was known upon its original release in 1991 on arcade machines, originally developed by Data East, then further ported to home consoles over the next few years by a few different companies, some with their own unique spins on the game, but the one most faithful to the original arcade version being the one for the Sega Genesis. This is the version I played, and boy, you can really tell it was meant for an arcade. With each subsequent port, the name was changed from Caveman Ninja to Caveman Ninja Joe and Mac, the reverse, Joe and Mac, Caveman Ninja, or simply Joe and Mac, as was the Genesis release. In my opinion, of those options, Joe and Mac is the better title, mostly due to the fact that this game has absolutely nothing to do with ninjas. The cavemen themselves are not ninjas. This was pretty much just a poor translation from the Japanese name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. Or perhaps it was to capitalize on the hype of earlier released arcade games such as Double Dragon, Ninja Gaiden, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. However, the more accurate translation being Fight Caveman, or Fighting Caveman. Either would have been better, but I can see where they got ninja instead of fighting, but it's still wrong. But where did the Joe and Mac name come from? Well, it was always there, at least in the Japanese arcade version. It was the more prominent portion of the title, with the smaller text being the aforementioned Fighting Caveman. Probably an emphasis on who Joe and Mac are, as to better describe the game you are about to play. Joe and Mac, Fighting Caveman. Beyond the title of the game, and beyond the arcade version, I previously stated that the Sega Genesis port was the most faithful to the arcade version. This was because Eden Entertainment Software directly converted the graphics from the arcade machine to the Genesis. Though the Genesis was graphically inferior to an arcade machine, it wasn't that simple. Some workarounds had to be done to achieve a passable replica of the game, namely the level backgrounds and sprites, and though there were a few minor cutbacks in some areas, there were few and far between. And though the Genesis port was the most graphically similar, some of the other ports shined in their own way. While the screen resolution of the arcade machine was 256 by 240, the Genesis operates at 320 by 224, causing the game to appear thinner than its arcade counterpart. Whereas the Super Nintendo's resolution was 256 by 240, thus achieving a more accurate appearance in that respect. The Genesis was also lacking a bit in its color palette, which the SNES made up for in its port, but beyond that, the SNES introduced different bosses, or different variations on existing bosses, as well as a limited weapon range. And though the Commodore Amiga was perhaps the next closest in its representation of the original, it didn't come nearly close enough to make a significant impact on my decision on which one to play. So, how do I play? Well, first we must learn why we play. The dawn of humanity is no picnic. Just ask Joe and Mac. These two cave dudes just want to hang out and eat and drink. But their peace is shattered when they leave their village to party in the mountains, only to find that some Neanderthals have come and kidnapped all the women. So Joe and Mac must now set off on a prehistoric rescue mission to rescue their cave girls. And you know that ain't gonna be easy. Not with growling dinosaurs and more prehistoric creatures and dangers than you can shake a club at. Okay, fine enough, I guess. Seemed a bit odd to me, though it could have just been the way I read it. Further along the mechanics, the game itself can be played with either one or two players, per the usual arcade games. For single player, you'll be playing as Joe, the green-haired caveman, and as player 2, you'd be Mac, the blue-haired one. Each player will have their own energy meter, which depletes quite quickly, even from being hit by the weakest of enemies. Luckily, you can build it back up with a plethora of fruits dropped from almost every enemy. Each player scores your lives remaining, and during a boss fight, the boss's energy meter, and if in two-player mode, hits to the boss. The player with the most hits once the boss is defeated will get a kiss from the newly rescued cave girl, and will get their energy meter restored. In the menu, there are settings for how many lives you wish to start the game with, a maximum of 3, and how many continues before game over, as well as a difficulty setting. It's really hard on easy, might I add, and I didn't mess with the music or sound effects part. The game itself is really simple. Move with the directional pad, jump with C, fire with your weapon with B, and do a big jump with A. Beyond that, a few special controls with combining a few buttons, but I never really needed those. And after every few levels, the game diverts. You get a choice between path A or B. Though there will be only one ending, this is just a different level ending with the same boss. Lastly, the different weapons available, how to achieve points, from what and how many, and some enemies you'll encounter. Alright, let's play. After adjusting the settings to your liking and pressing start, we are treated to a fun cinematic, showing the events of what the manual explained. While Joe and Mac are away, the Neanderthals kidnap the women, and then instantly, we're in the thick of it. Think fast, because there's already a Neanderthal in your face. Naturally, the two possible ways of killing one is hitting one with your weapon or jumping on its head. And at this point you might think, okay, like Mario, the first Goomba, a small taste of what is to come, and this is the first level, so I have a ways to go. It can't be that bad. Then you move forward 2 inches and every enemy and their goddamn mother is there. Why is level 1 so jam-packed? So, naturally, I died barely into the level. Then I died again. Then, did I hit a checkpoint or something? That quickly? Why did it put me in the end of the sleeping dinosaur I just hiked over? Well, yes, actually, it was a checkpoint, because I'm at the boss already. So you mean to tell me that right there, that was the entire level? Oh, brother. And every single level is like this. The game is just a boss fight simulator with short strings of major inconveniences. So not in the slightest of what I was expecting. But let's take on this boss number 1. I'm playing on normal mode right now, so I expected some difficulty, but nothing impossible. But I soon realized it was actually insanely difficult. When I went back and tried it on easy and found it to be just about as difficult as before. But it very much seemed, at least for the first half of the fight, that I was on top of it and could win every time. Good job, Data East. I bet you made a buttload of money from all the quarters spent toying with players' emotions at the arcade. So anyways, not giving me a great first impression, but I made it through. So let's see what's next. I will say, at least so far, I think the stone wheel is my favorite weapon. It also seems, at least from the first fight with the T-Rex, that the game will offer up a preferred weapon for that specific boss. We'll see if that holds true. But besides that, during each level, some Neanderthals and pterodactyls are carrying eggs which, when dropped and broken, might have different weapons you can pick up. But anyways, now we are navigating along a cliff edge with waterfalls and electric fish, apparently. Oh nice, a water spout to lift me up to this platform. If I can even manage to get on it in the first place, something hits me every time and pushes me back. Wait, the water spout hurts me too? Are you kidding me? Is there anything forgiving in this game? Whatever, because 2 seconds later, I'm at the next boss fight, this piranha plant looking dude. Okay, so this pterodactyl drops off a boomerang to use. But the axes I had before, I thought, did better. Am I being nerfed fighting this boss? Okay. Positive thoughts. It's fine. There we go. Woo! Ah, the first choice path. I'm just gonna go with course A. Okay? Why are these bees indestructible? Oh god, I gotta go. Just make it to the boss. Checkpoint. Oh, there. Whew. Holy shit, it constantly spawns more pterodactyls. Fuck! Okay, so now we're on these water logs in an auto-scroller level. Not bad so far. Ooh, okay, here we go. Okay, that was quick. Hold on, this is kind of fun. Wow, that was the first fun level of the game. Let's mark that one as fun. It only took getting to level 5. Only 13 to go. Wait, I thought there was only supposed to be 15. I gotta recount. Well, I can't count those bosses not in the boxes. Then it would be even more. So, oh, the bosses don't count as levels. Duh. Let's see. Plus them plus the level are 1. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 11. Wait, that's too few. It literally says 15 levels and 5 zones on the next page. What are the zones? And how do they get 15? And does the level no boss count as a level? I'm so confused. Alright, a choice again. I'll go A, but of course I die and play through the whole game again, so let's compare course B while we're at it. Holy shit, course A sucks compared to B riding a dinosaur. I'll take that any day of the week. Oh, look. Onyx, the Pokemon. Huh. Nice. Wait. Hold up. No. Nope. Xbox record that. That couldn't have been any further off. Who made these hitboxes? Okay, I'm about done. So, after that, course A or B, they're basically the same. Then a spiky armadillo. Then you fall down and fight a mammoth that gets mad when you knock his trunk off. Then a skeleton dinosaur. Then the same boss as the first one, but red this time. Then you go in that boss's stomach once you beat him and fight the green devil. Excuse me. Wait, this is not in the plot. I thought this was just because some rascally Neanderthals took Joe and Mac's girls. Where did this come from? I have absolutely no words. No good ones, anyway. Maybe the critics at the time did, though. Let's see. Unresponsive controls. Oh, that's for the NES. Isn't a lot to hold your interests. No, that's the SNES. Pretty good. Okay, not spectacular, but good nonetheless. Okay, nice. Oh, wait, that's Amiga. Ah, here we go. The graphics are top-notch. Yeah, they're pretty good. This game features some of the best music ever on a 16-bit system. I don't know if it was that good, but I did enjoy the music and sound effects. That's all I can agree on, I guess. For me, the graphics were good, the mechanics were easy to understand, and the audio was impressive. But damn if it didn't fall short in every other category. The story, the level design, the collisions, and for me, there was just little to enjoy. But don't worry, it's not the worst game I played on this channel. At least Joe and Mac is a finished game. I'm gonna have to give it a 4 out of 10, tied with Bubsy 3D and Lego Island, though of those I'm putting it last. As harsh as I have been with Joe and Mac on this video, it was still nicer than what I wrote in my notes as I was playing. But don't let all that negativity deter you. If you enjoy this game, that's your opinion and I'm glad you like it. If you haven't played it before and you're interested in playing it for yourself, go for it. You might enjoy it too. If you have any game recommendations, leave them in the comments below. I have one more recommendation planned to do a video on before the end of this year. Anyways, I hope you'll enjoy this video, and I hope you'll enjoy what I have in store. That's all for now. See you next time. Wait, stop. I have more to say. I've never done this before, but while gathering more footage from a video, I finally got to see how each of the main ports, as well as the original arcade version, plays. And I gotta say, if I had played either the SNES version or the arcade version, I probably would have not rated this game as low as I did. It would have definitely been higher. The Amiga version was dog shit. But I suppose that's the gamble I take with these retro games and their multitude of ports. No two are the same, and that can turn a great game into a shit game, or vice versa. Maybe in the future I'll come back to some of these games and try a different port and rate that. Or maybe I'll just incorporate every variant into one video. Well, no, on second thought, I don't think I'll do that. That would take a hell of a lot more time to put out just one video then. But for now anyways, from just the first level of Joe and Mac, here's my speculated rating on each variant.